To our next story, that call that you just heard, one of many examples of why 911 dispatchers have one of the toughest and most stressful jobs you could ever imagine.
Dozens of times a day, they help people through the worst times of their lives. Dispatchers will tell you that no call is ever the same, and certain calls are definitely more difficult than others.
But at One Valley Dispatch Center, there is a place that they can go to try to decompress. Mark Martinez is here to show us what that is. Mark.
It takes a very special person to do this job. We know that from some of the calls that we have heard. And on any given day, those 911 dispatchers, they are taking calls involving child drownings, burglaries in progress, or even sometimes officers they know who are shot in the line of duty. Now, they have to make split-second decisions in very stressful situations to get people the help they need. And again, a stressful job. So what happens when they take especially tough calls? For dispatchers in Maricopa County, there's a place they can go, something of a sanctuary, to try and find some peace. Inside MCSO's headquarters in downtown Phoenix.
This is 911. What's your emergency, sir?
911 dispatchers work around the clock.
Would you like the deputy to contact you?
Handling up to 800 calls that come in on a daily basis.
Sometimes we leave here, we've taken so many calls that even me being here so long, my head's spinning as I leave.
Jennifer Johnson has been a dispatcher with MCSO for 23 years and is now a supervisor with the department.
Okay, and the driver, could you tell if it was male, female?
She admits the stress can take its toll.
We have to make very immediate decisions and very important decisions on how you call in.
What is the emergency, sir?
My daughter fell in the pool and she was floating when I found her.
Now what I want you to do is pinch the bridge of her nose and give her 2 breaths of air and make sure her chest goes up and down. Put one hand right in the center of her chest.
Okay.
And I want you to do 30 compressions.
Anything involving a child is very stressful. A lot of people that work in here have kids and they kind of relate it to their own kids.
MCSO's new headquarters was built with the latest high-tech equipment, but there's one room where simplicity is key. It's called the quiet room.
It's just kind of to collect, after you've maybe had a stressful call, kind of to come in here and collect your thoughts.
The room is purposely sparse, a couch, a chair, and a balcony to get some fresh air. Johnson says with each dispatcher handling about 150 calls per shift, it's important to have a place to decompress after especially tough calls.
We work non-stop calls, and a lot of us work extra shifts. So it is nice that we can come in here and take a little bit of a breather.
Johnson says one of the hardest things for dispatchers is they often don't know the outcome of a call, which are sometimes matters of life or death.
911, where's your emergency?
He's shot on the floor. Yes,
Okay.
It's my brother. They just shot him.
Okay. Did this happen in front of the house, ma'am?
Yes, it's just right
Okay.
in front of my house.
Did you see ma'am, listen to me for a second, okay? Did you see the person that shot him?
No, I didn't. He just drove up to our house, to our house, and he just fell in our driveway.
Okay.
I think the worst for us is not knowing how the call ends. We don't get to sometimes follow up with the deputy on what happened, so sometimes we leave here kind of stressed out.
Johnson says the room doesn't get used that often, but it's comforting for the dispatchers to know it's there for them whenever they need it.
Some people sometimes get very upset and just kind of come in here and kind of hide from everybody.
Amazing.
Yeah.
These people are saints, Mark.
Unbelievable.
I mean, really.
It's amazing what the calls they take, and then again, we were talking about this, to have to go on to the next one right after you handle one. I mean, the room is there if they really need to go in there, but they're working so much, taking so many calls. You can see how it takes its toll on you. Jennifer told me too, again, the worst part for them is to just not know the outcome. You don't get that final outcome of how things happen.
Sometimes we do have a story where they were reunited with the victim that they helped, but they're not able to always learn that, huh?
No, she says that's kind of rare. Sometimes they will reach out to the deputies involved later, and ask, how did that all turn out? But stressful job. And
Do they seek out the break room, or is it a coworker who will say, you need to take a break?
Jennifer's a supervisor. She said that their rule there is if you need the room, go, no questions asked. Somebody will take over for you, handle those calls. But if she can tell somebody needs to maybe go to that room, she might suggest it.
Yeah.
But
Nice to
again,
have.
it's nice for them to have it there.
Thank God we have them.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Mark.